Josh at Apex Overland. I'm going to do a review here on the STKR lights that were sent to us. Do a quick review here on the table here, and then this coming weekend I'll be out at Winter Rock, Tennessee, and I'll actually try them out while I'm camping in the dark and give a follow-on review from there. They sent us two different ones. They sent us the Pro and the Overlander. The Pro goes up to 8 feet, the Overlander goes up to 10. Different variances in the lumens. The Pro here is 1200 lumens and the Overlander is 2600 lumens. Let me show you these and how they look. A little bit separates them on how they function, and they both kind of have their own specific needs. We'll probably keep the Pro in the truck all the time, and then we'll pack the Overlander on our trailer, and I'll just show you why. So starting with the Pro here, nice compact. It's actually magnetic based, so you can actually use this as a flashlight if you need it to. It's very bright, bunch of different modes. So that's pretty cool. You can take this out, throw it in your center console, and charge it just as you use your truck daily, which is why I would probably just keep it in the truck. On the end here, it has the ability to hang it. So it has hooks, so you can hang it if you need to. It's actually pretty bright flashlight. I've already used it once. So in the garage when the lights weren't working. The end comes out. They are weather resistant. This feels like a plastic tube to me, some kind of composite. So they come out, you twist them, come all the way out like most lights do. Works great there. What's really cool about the base here is it has a remote, so you can turn the light on and off remotely. Doesn't have an app, just has a remote. It magnetics to the bottom as well, and this also magnetics to the bottom of the flashlight. The feet here are kind of cool. So you just pull them down, all three. But on the bottom of the feet, you see here are little red stakes. So when your foot comes down, you can actually stake this thing into the ground, which is awesome because we all have kids and dogs that like to run around and knock our things over. So that should prevent that, hopefully. Very, very lightweight. It's pretty awesome. Again, this is the Pro. Goes up to 8 feet and 1200 lumens. The next one is the big Overlander. So big Overlander here. Big is the word for that. The bottom here is the battery. The light doesn't come off. The bottom is the battery. It's a big, beefy battery. Let me see if I can figure out. 14,000 milliamp hour battery. So not only will this power the light, you could power like a Bluetooth speaker or your phone or something off of this if you get back to camp, you need some playing time. That's a big battery. Again, on the bottom, has a remote that works. The remotes connect to the same lights at the same time. So, which is nice. If you're at camp at the same time, you can turn all your lights on and off. But if you have a buddy that has one, you can control his as well. Again, power port here is in and out on the bottom there. These feet do not have the poles like the Pro does. So twist that. Twist it some more. There we go. These are brand new. I've only played with them once before. So that comes all the way down. That's your big base there. This sucker's solid because that's probably a 2.5 foot, diameter right there. So it's awesome. Same thing as the other one. Bring this back up. Just so you guys can see. Those come off like that. And then the tube pulls out just like the other one, but as you can see, this tube is a lot beefier. That's why it's called the big Overlander. It comes up and you can twist to the right to lock it all the way out. And then it pushes back in, and that's the entire unit there, including the remote on the bottom. It does have a power switch on the bottom, You can turn it off with just the power switch, which is awesome. I do like this one a little more than this one. This one does that amber color. That one does a red. I prefer amber at camp. Fire setting, that kind of thing. But again, they're by Striker. I will see you guys at Winrock, Tennessee when I have these out in the dark at camp. So you just heard from a younger, better looking version of myself sitting behind a table. Now we're out in the field. Let's test it out. So we'll start with the smaller one here. All right, so everything is the same as we talked before. I apologize, I thought I charged the mic, but I did not. So, speaking up a little bit, but stake pulls down. We'll put the small one right here. Very rocky terrain here. Rocks don't help, but good enough for what we're doing, right? So again, we have our light we can take off. Go there. Show you how high this thing goes. That ain't bad. Let's get the big one now. So again, this one's probably my favorite one of the two, honestly. Just can tell it's just much more substantial. So I'm about 6 foot behind the smaller one for scale. Oh yeah, way taller. Way taller. I think I missed one up there. Yeah. I missed the very top one that extended up, so there it is. So that's set up super fast for both of them, and I will be back tonight when it's dark. All right, now it's nighttime at camp here. So starting off with the Pro, and this is the white light on it. You can see how bright it is. That is it all the way down, and then turning it up all the way, it gets a lot brighter. And then switching it to red, that is red on its brightest setting. And then we will dim it all the way down, as you see here. And that is its lowest setting. And with the controller, you can even turn the top light on, which shoots a signal up into the sky like the bat light. But I do like the Pro in the red at night. Great for your night vision, doesn't attract bugs. It does work really well, as you can see. I prefer amber personally at camp. All right, let me break the Pro here down and get out the Overlander. I'm gonna have to take the Pro down all the way. Again, the remotes connect to each other, so when you turn one on, it turns the other one on. So give me a second, let me get this thing switched out. All right, this is the Overlander, and that is all the way on low with the white light. And then I will turn it up. You can just see how much brighter this is, all 2,600 lumens. But I do like the camp light in the amber color. It's just better for your eyes. If you have a campfire going, it kind of blends in with the light of the fire. And then you can play with the dimming on it as well. So that's all the way down. I do prefer it about the top range all the way up to bright of amber. Just provides that much more light. All right, so back here at the house, and it's a little darker because it's not a full moon, but this is the Overlander. You can see how much light it puts out. And this is the Overlander in the amber mode. So it's actually a lot of really good light, especially for around camp. All right, and this one is the Pro. So a little bit dimmer white, but still quite a bit. And this is the Pro in red. Has a lot of good light, especially for camp at night. Won't mess with your eyes, and it'll keep the bugs from entering your camp looking for that light. All right, so that's my review of the STKR lights. If I had to choose between the two of those, I would go after the Overlander. Bigger battery, more power. I find the controls a lot easier, and I don't really need a detachable light. I just like the Overlander more, so that'd be the one I would go with, but you really can't go wrong with either one. They're really close in price range, so I would suggest the Overlander. Thanks again. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Bye.